What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We're going to be doing some warships, but it is not going to be on either of my accounts that are in Diamond. Considering parking them, to be completely honest. Spending too much time on warships, too much time, and I know people are like, push to legendary, but it's not super fun being in legendary when you're single sleeping on the couch. So, not. I mean, warships was taking up too much of my time. I'm enjoying this for the moment more so than I was enjoying Seekers. So I'm going to show you this tech tree. This account started at rank 1. It also started at 1 star. So this account, by the way, look at that. People up into legendary. Well done. Legendary just takes so much work. Like, let's have a look, see how many attacks this person's been doing. 565, that's quite kind of almost reasonable, to be honest. Let's scroll down a little bit, see what rev time is doing. 323, wow, I'm impressed. I gotta say, I don't know if that is because of lots of skill or getting the head start from previous seasons or whatever, but the number of attacks here are quite reasonable. Like, typically you see people doing like 1200. There we go, look at that. Ahmad with 1085 attacks. Just crazy number of attacks. And I don't have, ain't nobody got time for that. So this tech tree is, I gotta say, I am incredibly impressed with this tech tree without having instant training. I can basically attack forever. And so I'm going to show you how this tech tree is made up. Troop damage. I did have to go get rifles, and the reason for that was because I had to get them in order to keep progressing, because you can't keep getting engine rooms using only Cryoneers. So people who started at rank 10, rank 11, likely don't have riflemen. They also don't likely have Rifleman maxed, so definitely some wasted keys along the way. Also, I've got machine guns here instead of sniper towers or mortars, which I might change in a later date, but I don't have enough diamonds right now, as you can see. Also, then went into heavies and went up this top road, skipping flares. Now, I thought skipping flares was going to be a big mistake, but it allowed me to get into troop health, which saved a lot of my troops. It also allowed me to get up into Kavan, and having Kavan has just made this so magical. Also, Cryobombardiers, they basically don't ever die as long as you have heavies out front. And with Kavan dropping second wind, you never lose troops. I mean, you lose some heavies, but not enough that it becomes a problem. So this is the tech tree. If you're behind or slightly lower, I highly recommend this. Obviously, we're like 8 days into this season or something like that, or 9 days or 10 days. So I'm not sure how many people are behind at this point, but if you're looking for a tech tree that does not need instant training and can get up into gold, this is the one. Now, rocket launchers, a huge waste of keys, I think, this season. I don't see any benefit from them. That's why I don't have them. I will be going into 4 engine rooms with this account later on, but for right now, I'm going to show you some 3 engine room attacks. And I'm going to show you my base. Now, a lot of people either have flares and they have to go through a bunch of these defenses, or they don't have flares and they're going to get dragged along by all of these defenses. Let's get the drawing tool out here while we're here. So if they're going to go through the defenses, they end up going like up and around into here. Let's change that color back to yellow, shall we? They're going to go up and around into here with, like, say, 5 boats. Then they're going to send 3 boats up into this engine room. So they have to go either around a lot of defenses or they have to go through a lot of defenses. So that is working quite well for me. And people who don't have flares, they drop, and then all of their troops get pulled over into here. And then they get pulled back along here, up into here, and something along those lines. Now, the other thing to note is that these boom cannons are not there by accident. Once all of, you know what, let's draw again. Just trying to get through this. Once all of these defenses are clear and this engine room is gone, the next closest defense is those boom cannons, which draws all of these troops along here past all of this stuff as my boom cannons and sniper towers and other things shoot them in the face. Now, Cryo Bombardiers can target from where that sniper tower is back to those boom cannons. That's why I've got a mine sitting there and I've got 2 boom cannons just in case one isn't enough. So I've had good success with this base. Figured I would show it to you in the hopes that maybe someone's going to get some benefit out of it. And now we can show just how useless these rocket launchers are, because I gotta say, they are not useful at all. Now, because my rifles are maxed, I'm dropping one boat of rifles right there on that boom cannon. And what that's doing is that's guaranteeing that the boom cannon is not going to be shooting our, what are those things called? Our heavies in the face. Because we want to keep all of our heavies alive. And getting some riflemen up against single shot defenses means that's more likely to happen. Hopefully that makes sense. Not everyone has a boom cannon or a sniper at the shore, but generally speaking, people have something along those lines. And Kavan, keeping our troops alive, our Cryobombardiers are just hanging out behind everyone, and then our troops start to split. Some of those riflemen and heavies go off to the left-hand side, start clearing some mines, clearing some defenses, and then the rest of them go off to the right. Now, I have dropped far, far, far too many off to that right-hand side, which is not ideal, but it should still be okay because we're going to have a whole bunch of our troops rushing forward. Now, the other thing you can do here at this point is if you're super duper concerned, you can actually shock your bombardiers and have the rest of your rifles and heavies and things come up and clear the mines for you. I very, very rarely do this, but it can be useful if you see a whole bunch of your bombardiers rushing towards mines. And when they rush towards the mines, bad things happen. I think we're going to pick up the L here in a second. We'll see just how fast our bombardiers can get towards that engine room, but I'm starting to lean towards the fact that we're very, very likely to lose this battle. But I've been winning far, far more than I've been losing, and that includes the early season stuff where I was just losing all the time, trying to get chests, moving up from rank 1. I don't think I've ever done warships on this account. If I have, I've never finished terribly high, so I believe this is the first time this account will have gotten into gold. Not a good time at all. Omer is going to kick our butts. Loss, loss, loss. So you see there, anytime you're below 235 or so, you're probably going to lose. As you can see, 238, 244. My times will get better. Let's just check my profile on this account. Task Force, by the way, Labadia is #1 in Denmark, I believe. This is in our low-level task force. Labadia kicking royal butt with a 4-engine room base. Just got in the diamond yesterday, I think. So we've got diamond players throughout our task force group. Do consider joining our task force group because we've got lots and lots of experience and knowledge and all that good stuff. So my highest rank ever is, oh, looks like it says I've played 17 seasons. That is 100% inaccurate because all I do every season is come in, claim the free loot, and then close it. And my highest rank ever is from this season right now, which clearly doesn't help. I kind of was hoping it was going to show my highest rank ever before this season, but let's get in, split our troops a bit better, and hopefully pick up a few W's, a few wins, a few in the good column. So that is where dropping your troops, what I like to do in these instances, again, getting those riflemen out front and then bombardiers out. Now, what I want to do here is I want to split these troops, and the best way to do that is to clear the left-hand stuff so that all the rest of our troops start going off in the other direction. So what I want to do is I want to get these as far forward, my flags way, way forward so that they go over towards those sniper towers, and you'll see that all of a sudden all of our left-hand troops are splitting, and that's what you want. You want to have as many troops as you can go off to that left-hand side because making this long, long walk to the right is not helping anyone at all. And as you can see there, our heavies are not split enough, so I probably should have thrown a heavy kind of by that legendary trophy there. And I actually called it a trophy instead of a statue. That's a common problem that I make. Now watch this. One of our bombardiers right there is going to go attack those machine guns, which is going to help because otherwise all of these troops are going straight for that machine gun. So getting your cryo bombardier to shoot over that gap actually makes your troops go to somewhere reasonable as opposed to running in. That's like one of the complaints that we get every season is people say, my bombardiers go to stupid places. And it's because, or whatever troops, heavies, Zukas, and the whole reason for that is because they're doing to the next closest defense how the crow flies in a straight line as opposed to logic. So they're not doing this path measurement. Let's just take a screenshot right there. So when your Cryobombardiers or your heavies or your rifles are sitting right here, the closest defense is right there. It isn't this one that's right here because this distance is like, say, 32 and this one's like 10. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about the gaps in Boom Beach, do let me know because warships is very, very different, and targeting that over that gap in warships is different than operations, different than PvP, and it can be a bit frustrating at times. But as you saw there, getting like 90% of our troops to go to the left as opposed to the right makes a massive, massive difference. So what I'm going to do in this one is something similar. We're going to drop a couple boats over there, and then it's actually to your benefit to just wait. And then you can drop another boat, see how things are going, and then eventually things are going to start going down, and we can start dropping some heavies, start dropping some other troops. And if you're not sure where they're going to go, just drop Kavan super late, because what you can do is you can hold Kavan up for a second or so by hitting the instant, what are those things called? Second wind button, which is going to get some troops spreading in all sorts of different directions. And if he starts heading off to that right, hit the second wind button and he'll pause for a second, which can help you get more troops over to that left-hand side. Little tiny little details that can make all the difference in between winning and losing. And now one more thing is that this boom cannon is going to shoot across the gap if we let it, and the whole goal here is to not let that happen. So I'm going to keep shocking that boom cannon and shocking that rocket launcher eventually once our troops start to head in that direction. And now, right about now, we're going to see one Bombardier turn and look over that, and I was a little bit late, and as a result, our troops are spreading in a weird and wonky way, and the Bombardiers have missed that opportunity to take out that boom cannon, which might be a good thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm about to lose again, because you can tell as soon as you go under 230 or so, it's basically a guaranteed loss, because people, without any thinking, can take down your base in that amount of time. So delaying on troops and not having flares is a bit frustrating for sure, as Big Donkey just posterizes us and takes the W. Just trying to put sports references in. If you're going to say takes the W, you got to throw in the posterized comment, I think. My earlier video today talked about a fall away jumper as well. So today is a sporting kind of day, it seems. We are going to send, you'll notice right there, we've got 4 single shot defenses. So I'm going to send our rifles over that way. We're going to send 3 boats of Cryobombardiers and Kavan, and then we're just going to keep 1 boat here. This is all you should need, is 1 boat. Now, the only concern is that our troops can go flamethrower, machine guns and things. So I probably should have dropped something in the middle to break that path. Now we just have to hope that Kavan and the gang goes off to that left-hand side. See, not doing terribly well here. Way too many troops are going to the right. Should have broken that path. And how you break that path is simply by dropping a boat of Bombardiers right there. They'll remove that building, and then all of your troops will go to that left-hand side, as opposed to this many troops going to the right. We've got way too many troops going to the right, and Kavan is going to the right, meaning that all of our second windisms are dropping in the wrong spot. So I'm going to use all of my GBE for shocks at this point, because Kavan's troops are just going to take way too long to get to where we need them. Hopefully Kavan can get there before those troops step on that mine. I kind of doubt it's going to happen, but there they go. And again, 235 is the time. I like to beat 240, but it all depends on the attack. So we definitely got a better split that time, and as a result, we're going to be in that 235 window, just hoping that we can pull off the win. It's going to be awfully close, and it looks like we are going to get that. So let's just quickly check Eunice, see where Eunice is at. You see, they're just trying to flare all of the things, and we'll do a quick replay of their attack just so you can see how my base is behaving. The fact that all those mines are still there means that Eunice went around the outside, as Eminem once said. Let's quickly show that person's attack. I'll also show you the fastest attack of the other two, just so that you can see. Now, they are not clearing that gap fast enough, and you'll notice they're getting all of their troops pulled over to that right-hand side. They come up, get hit by that mine. They've lost 2 Bombardiers against those 2 boom cannons, wasting a shock on boom cannons. Always a good time seeing that, and then bringing all their troops through this stuff. So having to go around this corner adds 5-6 seconds, wastes some GBE, all good stuff. Let's see what Big Donkey did. 230. Let's see here, 225. We're going to have to cut that out of there. For some reason, my Do Not Disturb came off. Let's see our fastest loss, just so that we can see 236 Timda. Let's see what Timda's got. I think this is before. Nope, that's my old base before I redesigned it. Let's have a look and see. So making small changes, went from a 235, 236 down to 229 being the... There's a 230. Let's see what Big Donkey has to say. Is this like a Vince Carter moment? Oh, they got Everspark actually. So kind of surprised to see Everspark. Also, some of you are going to say that's too old of a basketball reference. That's the last time I actually paid attention to basketball, back when the Vancouver Grizzlies actually had a team. Look how good Everspark is at clearing those mines. Fairly impressive. And they're coming in and flaring engine rooms. So I probably maybe going to move some of those boom mines, just trying to get a little bit more coverage for people who come in and flare our engine rooms. Let's go something like that. If they're going to go wide around, not a massive concern. We'll do one more attack. I will come back and cut out that frame where my Do Not Disturb was off, but otherwise, just cruising right along. We're going to drop one boat there, and all of the rest are going to come way over in here, trying to get as far left as we can, hoping that those Cryobombardiers take off that rocket launcher, saving us a little bit of time of the mass of our troops. If we can keep the majority of our troops heading off to the left-hand side, we're going to be far better off, and possibly one of our bombardiers is going to go attack that rocket launcher right there, which will also be very good. Hoping, but it looks like it's not actually going to happen. Not the end of the world, just second wind like crazy. Now, likely second wind, as much as I'm doing it, is not the best way forward. But without instant training, getting those pink zombies, oh, there we go. See how I said I wanted to get that Cryo Bombardier over there? Getting rid of that rocket launcher and just showing that I don't think rocket launchers are the answer. Maybe if you're going to get them to max, but that's going to be so many tokens that I'm not entirely sure that's the best way forward. So, obviously 3 engine rooms is getting crushed at this point because people are starting to have bullet and barrage and artillery. Also, I am not a massive fan of barrage. I don't think the barrage is the answer, but again, maybe later on after Seekers have played themselves out, and yes, Seekers are about to play themselves out. Seekers are getting towards the end of their run. They're getting harder and harder every day to play with. So if you're thinking, should I go into Seekers? Probably still yes, but just be aware it's going to be difficult, and we managed to pull off another win at the 3 engine room level. So if you have a different base, please let me know. I have not run into anyone with Seekers or 4 engine rooms or anything like that yet, but again, I'm only down at rank 16. Let's try and get into rank 17, pick up our chest as well. And obviously I'm not playing with a full deck at the moment. We're a little bit limited by the fact that I haven't spent a bunch of my keys or my tokens or anything like that, which is going to cause me... It's going to cap me out, basically. I'm going to have limits as far as how far I can go. So I will be moving on to 4 engine rooms at some point, sometime soon-ish, but I just haven't decided when the heck that's going to be, and this split is not looking good at all. And you can almost tell if you're going to win just based on where Kavan goes. And the fact that Kavan's gone off to this left-hand side is going to give us a decent hope, because I can just keep pumping the pink zombie troops in. And we're going to get a mixture of heavies and rifles. And the fact that I have maxed rifles from early on in the season is making Kavan a little bit stronger. So I know I was cursing it a minute ago, saying like low levels that have to start in behind don't get a fair shake, but there are small benefits to it, and the fact that Kavan is bringing us back max level rifles is making our attacks a little bit faster for sure. So I really would like a season where everyone starts at 0, because it seems like a reasonable request to have everyone start at the same level, especially with a bunch of the cheating and stuff that was happening in the early seasons. It would be very nice to have a full reset, but at the same time, I can understand the reasoning for this, and they want to reward people who play and play often. So there is hopefully a win. I say 235 is the general timeline. We are at 233, and we picked up the W just like that. The fact that these boom mines are there means that they likely went way around, and they're probably cursing me, and they only have 2 bombardiers left. So either we're up against someone who has lost a lot of bombardiers, or someone who is low on troops from instant training, or using some crazy troop layout. It's hard to say. Like, you can't judge a person or their attack based on their actual attack, because you never know how many troops they had or what their strategy was. So let's have a quick look. Did we not move up? I swear we were just at 68. Oh, 68 out of 80. Clearly, I thought it must have said like 58 out of. I thought it was 50. I must have clearly missed a number there because something doesn't seem right. I thought I was going to move into 17 there for certain. Let's have a look and see what TT had to say. Very curious to see how my base is working, and I don't watch nearly enough replays. So they only brought 2 boats of Cryobombardiers, it looks like, and somehow we managed to pick them off. I'm guessing those boom cannons right there picked off a bunch of them. And watch this. See, that is just so good. Having those boom cannons there picking off their Cryobombardiers is incredibly useful. And I'm really liking that combination. So let's spend 7 more diamonds. We've been through a bunch of attacks, and finally you can see that I don't have instant training. It just makes such a world of difference to have that. And again, looking in here, we see single shot defenses, so we're gonna bring in our our rifles instead. So that is, if you're gonna take one thing away from this video, I think that is the one. Do consider dropping a boat of rifles. They don't even have, like, they can be super low level rifles. Just drop some rifles, and that is going to make your attacks slightly, ever so slightly better, because you're not going to lose your heavies, and not losing your heavies makes a massive difference. Speaking about losing troops, we almost lost a whole bunch of our bombardiers to all of those mines. Our split is not looking good at all. Let's get a shock out there on those mortars and see if we can't keep some of our bombardiers. We've got all of our heavies almost over here, and like 2 heavies, 1 heavy on that left-hand side. So all of those times I said rocket launchers were not the answer, suddenly I'm getting absolute payback from the, look at that. They couldn't even take out 1 bombardier. Like, rocket launchers not doing a heck of a lot of good for this player at this point, but still, like, just not good. I don't recommend going for rocket launchers unless you're fully committed to spending a lot of tokens to get them maxed, because in that time that person's rocket launchers were hitting our bombardiers, they took out 0 bombardiers with the rocket launchers, I think. So I gotta say, this person likely heavy rushed me. With heavy rush you can get like 251 or so, but I haven't seen a heavy rush in a long time. I'm guessing that Swilly B brought the heavy rush, maybe 241 though. Let's have a quick look, see what the heck they did, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Let's see what Swilly had to say. And honestly, if I was to take on this base, I would go 5 boats heavies for these back engine rooms, 3 boats for this front engine room, but I haven't seen heavy rushes in a long time, since early on in the season. They actually thought to shock those boom cannons. I'm kind of impressed, and now they're coming in just hot and heavy. Those 3 mines, I'm going to move them a little bit, because as you saw, these boom cannons do draw the fire, so I'm going to move this over into here, this over into here, and just trying our best to absolutely crush people's hopes and dreams using that entire minefield. So anyways, hopefully this video finds you well. Today is Thursday, January the 7th. Happy anniversary to a whole bunch of people in my life. I don't know why, lots of people got married today. So if it's your anniversary or your birthday today, do hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Let me know if you think I'm crazy for parking my warships with 19 days left, but I really like that powder and diamond, and I wasn't feeling it, and I'm enjoying this a bit more. Anyways, talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.